So good evening and welcome to another edition of High Live here, and we are here live at the Jing'an Workers Stadium
Welcome.
here in Shanghai, just down the road from HiCom HQ. And we are here tonight for a football special, a youth's football special. And we've got a special guest here this evening who will be talking about youth football and a great little tournament that he has that's going to be coming to Shanghai very, very soon. And obviously we're going to be looking forward to talking to him. So as always, I will ask Matthias how he is today and how his weekend was. So what's been happening?
Well, been working hard today,
Yeah.
and the weekend was pretty chill. Did a couple of sports activities and stay home, and that's it, resting.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, same really. Yeah, I was just chilling out at home and just doing a bit of exercising. It's very hot to be moving around too much right now. We've been quite lucky with the weather now. The fact that the rain has started to die down. It was very, very heavy earlier. We thought we would have to be competing with the pitter patter coming onto the awnings, but we're okay. So.
And if you see some people walking behind, it's actually like people will go there to have a walk after the dinner or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. The stadium behind us is extremely popular with the locals. They love walking around the track, having a walk after their dinner, letting the dinner go down, getting the blood circulating, everything that everyone should be doing, but they don't normally. Not in Western countries anyway, but they love it out here. On a normal, dry, sunny day, this place is absolutely packed full of people of all ages walking around the track, socialising, enjoying themselves, getting healthy, and it's actually a rather wonderful atmosphere if you manage to get down here at some point.
And if you're wondering what kind of jersey we're wearing, it's our seven-a-side Sunday team, Colibericos, the best team of the league, with the captain right here. So if some people from the team are watching, we're doing good.
I shared on the team.
Perfect.
Okay, so you're actually playing a league, Matthias?
Yeah, we play every Sunday the seven-a-side league there. So they are like three divisions.
Yeah.
Division 1, Division 2, Division 3.
Yeah.
And since we are very good, we are playing on Division 3.
Oh man.
And yeah, last season we didn't have. Last season actually normally season starts from February to June, and after from September to December. But because of COVID, it got delayed. We started
Sure.
like the end of April until July. So it was very hot, and we had a couple of safety rules that we have to follow, including like for instance no spitting on the grass. Like if you were spitting on the grass, you would get a red card. And trust me, when you're playing like for 45 minutes under 30 degrees sunshine
Yeah.
and not spitting, it's kind of difficult.
It must be quite difficult to enforce in
Manage-
general
manage
over
it.
here anyway. But that's another issue.
We manage it. Anyway. Manage it. Yeah, perfect. And
Yeah.
so maybe I can introduce our guest.
Yeah, sure, yeah. So we will be shortly welcoming Mark, who has a football activity. He organises football tournaments, and he's going to come along and talk to us about his relatively new project. Is that right? And he's going to talk to us all about it. It's an absolutely fantastic idea. It will get all your kids involved, and it will keep them occupied for a day at least, I guess. And it will get them nice and tired, and they'll be nice and easy to manage when you get home. So,
Thanks for the sweetheart. See
Yeah.
you later, guys.
Yep. Just one
Let
more
the chat
thing.
come up.
All those guys in the chat, are you able to hear us okay right now? Is the sound coming through tonight? Because we had a few issues with the boxing stream last week, and I just want to make sure that everybody can hear us this week, because I don't really want to be chatting for the next 20 minutes and no one can hear me. So on we go with Mark.
Good
Welcome
evening.
to Mark.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank
Good,
you.
good.
So just a quick photo. Mark, our special guest.
Et voila.
Okay, so Mark, you run the Shanghai, what's it called again? The Shanghai Champions Series.
The Football Champions Series.
Football
Definitely.
Football Champions Series. here in Shanghai. So first of all, in fact, before we get on to that, maybe you can just tell us a little bit about your background and how you found yourself here in China. So I believe you've been here for around a year or so.
Yeah, a little bit over a year now. Yeah,
Okay.
correct. So I'm in football.
Mhm.
Back home in the Netherlands, I own a company,
Yeah.
and we mainly focus on soccer development of youth players.
Yeah.
We educate coaches around the world, and that's what I normally do. I travel a lot to educate coaches wherever, basically.
Mhm.
And lately, it has been a little bit quiet due to coronavirus, so I'm not able to travel.
Sure.
So I figured I have to do something locally here in Shanghai.
Absolutely. So before you were actually traveling around China.
No, actually not in China, around the world.
Right.
Not so much in China.
Mhm. Okay. What? All around the world, or just
Yeah,
America, South America,
So-
or just Europe, or
Basically, the whole world. I spend a lot of time in the US, a lot of time in Ukraine,
okay.
but I also travel to places like Singapore, to Uganda,
Yeah.
Kazakhstan, Greece, you name it.
Great. Wow. So the concept that you're looking to put in place here in Shanghai, it's something that's already been tried and tested in other parts of the world.
No.
Not at all.
It's brand
I see.
new, brand new.
I see.
We tried one. We did one pilot right here in the stadium
Mhm.
2 months ago,
Yeah.
and the next one will be soon in October, 2nd of October, but it's brand new.
Right. Okay. So so you were telling me as well that you actually came you actually found yourself in Shanghai through your spouse. Is that
Correct. Yeah. She works here, and when she got the opportunity from her employer to move to Shanghai, we grabbed it with four hands, kind of
Right.
speak,
Yeah. Sure.
because we loved the experience and we loved Shanghai. We've been both here before, a couple
Mhm.
times on business trips.
So it's just a question of waiting for your employer to give you that chance to come over here. Because you said to me that it was the kind of plan that you had for a while before you came
Definitely. We were looking ourselves to find a way to get in here,
out here.
and because as everybody knows, lately it's not that easy to get visa, which
Absolutely
is
not.
understandable,
Yeah,
completely.
You seem to get it. You got in just before the drawbridge came back up.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, when we got that opportunity, we grabbed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so far it's good. We love the city.
Great. Okay. So now you have this great opportunity to start a new football scheme up here in Shanghai, and so it's not just a classic league format or a classic sort of league system where you will be looking for players to commit to say a 16-week period or period of a few months. It's more like one-off tournaments
Yeah.
that children can come and enjoy just for one day. So there's not these huge commitments, and it also gives them a chance to meet new people. But obviously, you know more about it than me. So
Well,
I'll let you take over.
You're pretty well informed.
Yeah.
So no, the Football Champions Series or FC Series short, it's a one-day event. That's right. But it will be recurring like every 2-3 months.
Yeah.
And we stimulate kids to come back, and during each event they can get a point and take those points to the next round,
Yeah.
basically. So yes, you're right. It's not a commitment for 16 weeks. It's not even a commitment for every single event.
Yeah.
But we do like the kids to come back every 2-3 months.
Okay. So perhaps you can. Because you've already organised a pilot event, which took place. Better keep that there. You organised a pilot event, and you managed to get. I think it was around 60 kids, was it?
96.
96.
Yeah, almost 100.
Yep. So perhaps maybe you can, and that was played on the very surface directly behind us.
Exactly.
Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about how the event went as a whole.
So when we came up with the idea of the Football Champions Series, which is basically the kids, they play 2v2 games, 3v3 games, and 4v4 games.
Yeah.
Every time they play with different players. So they register individually, but they play as teams. And every game they play in a different team and they accumulate points.
Yeah.
But to run a pilot, we of course we needed kids, right? So my friends of Football Future were that kind to promote it among their members.
Mhm.
So we were able to do a pilot with almost
Yeah.
100 kids. That was
Great.
amazing.
So I guess we've had like speed dating and speed networking. Now we've
Yeah.
kind of got like speed football where you change your team each time.
Exactly,
And,
but that makes it that great from the developmental perspective,
mhm.
which is basically my background as a coach educator. I'm always focusing on how can we make the game better and how can we develop kids better.
Yeah.
So by changing the team every single time and by changing the format, the kids have to adapt to different circumstances and different environments every single 5 to 10 minutes,
Yeah.
which is amazing because if you're as a player able to play along with different players of different levels and to adapt from a 2v2 to a 3v3 to a 4v4,
Exactly.
that,
Yes.
that enhances your skills.
Mm.
And besides that, we saw during the pilot, the kids just love it.
Brilliant. Okay. And did you find that there were certain kids that took much better to the larger teams rather than just playing with? Did you find that maybe there were kids that did well in the 3-3 or the 4-4, but didn't do so well
Yeah.
when there were fewer players?
Exactly,
around?
exactly. Yeah,
Or maybe
you'll
they
see
only
that.
have one guy to work with, and maybe their skill shortage kind of showed up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe their skill shortage or their own skill
Yeah, well,
shortage.
this is it. Yeah.
And because playing 2v2 requires something different from a player than playing 3v3 or 4v4, which makes it pretty unique that we combine all of that.
Yeah.
And of course, like I said, the players they accumulate points, and we have a winner at the end of the day for each age group, but also for each format.
Yeah.
So if you do really well in, let's say, 3v3, you can be recognized for that.
Yeah.
But if you do well throughout the formats, you'll be recognized for that as well.
How do you give the points?
So the point system is you get a point for winning, for tying a game, or for losing, and for each goal your team makes. So it doesn't matter who makes the goal within your team, but every goal that is made counts.
Yeah. So basically, the emphasis is basically the players will get the points kind of for playing as a team, but ultimately, when all the points are added up, it's kind of done on an individual basis.
Correct.
So, for example, players won't get points. They won't get personal points for scoring a goal. Obviously, that point will go to the whole team.
Exactly, because if you would be granting points to the kids who score,
Yeah.
you would get something else, right?
Yeah, you just get some guy with the ball the
Solo.
whole time, and they won't
Right,
pass it
exactly.
to anybody, and they'll just
Exactly.
hog the ball. As
So
you say, yeah.
the system as such still motivates to play as a team.
Play as a team,
Exactly.
but then because obviously ultimately everyone's going to get the point at the end. At the end, so
Correct,
so,
correct. And that's also how they learn to help each other and to support each other,
Sure.
even when they don't know each other yet.
Mm.
Which is cool because they play with kids they've never seen before.
Yeah.
So they also get the opportunity to make new friends.
Yeah. And was there a specific place or a specific time where this idea came from? Was it do you consider it your own idea, or is it just something that someone mentioned to you once, or something that you found online, or
So-
is it something that's been
Been around.
put in place somewhere else in the world?
So the system where players play in different teams every single round, that's not that new. But normally it sticks to one format,
Right.
and it doesn't. The event itself doesn't recur.
Right.
It's mostly part of a soccer camp, for example, football camp. So putting the 2v2s, 3v3s, 4v4s together, it is actually a brand new concept that isn't anywhere else.
Right, I see. Yeah. Because as I mentioned earlier, I think that one thing that might put parents off getting their kids involved in football is just the whole commitment, the fact that they have to free up a whole Saturday morning or a whole Sunday morning every weekend, and the parents, they might have business commitments, they might have holiday commitments, and and they don't like the idea of paying this very large sum up front when they're not entirely sure whether they're going to be able to commit to such a long period of time. But with an event like yours, it's like, bam, you're straight in there. You just go in there for an afternoon, 2 or 3 hours,
Exactly.
and you come out with a clear-cut result as well at the end.
Yeah, and it's open for everyone. So Can be kids who already play in a club or they play at school,
Yep.
but also who are not involved in football yet and
Sure.
they want to participate. They're more than welcome to join.
Mm.
Definitely.
And how do you feel about football in China? Because I'm there for 7 years and I feel like the passion is growing and growing more and more.
Of course, I mean, the passion and the knowledge of the game is growing, and I think that
True.
is tied to each other. I mean, I remember my first time traveling to China. It's now about 6 years ago. The things I saw back then on the fields were completely different from now.
Mm.
You see way more kids motivated to play, eager to learn new skills. Where back then it was just a few that were really eager and just a couple that you felt they were there just to be there.
Yeah, I think.
And that's changing, and that's good for Chinese football.
I think it's also maybe there's been a lot more exposure to say the world game, and maybe like the World Cup is being covered, and the Champions League is going to be covered, and the matches from the Premier League and the Bundesliga and the Spanish League, they're all being covered, and kids are being able to get into it in that way.
They also brought a lot of foreign coach that they didn't like 6 years ago.
Yeah, and obviously they've invested an awful lot of money to bring in foreign stars into the Chinese league as well.
Exactly. And it's part of school programs as well, right?
Yeah.
So more children are exposed to the game.
Sure.
Where 20 years ago the kids wouldn't be exposed to the game at all.
Yeah. But would you
Yeah.
say that would you say that basketball remains the more popular game out of the two?
I have no clue about
You don't
numbers,
know?
to be
Oh, right,
honest.
yeah,
I have
sure,
no clue
sure,
about
sure.
numbers. I mean, traditionally, yes.
Yeah.
So probably, maybe in the cities like Shanghai, it might be already 50-50, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But more inland.
Yeah.
I traveled through Guilin area the last week. Every single village you see a basketball court,
Yeah.
which is cool. I mean, I'm not a big basketball fan, but it doesn't matter. But
I don't know.
every village, no matter how small, there's a court,
Yeah.
which stimulates kids to be active, to play sports, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of like your next event, which will be in around a month or so, just over a month.
Over a month, October 2nd.
Yeah. Did you say that you are aiming primarily at Chinese kids and not the expat market?
Everyone is welcome.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, everyone is welcome. The staff on site speaks both languages.
Mhm.
So I don't speak Chinese that well,
Yeah.
but we have plenty of colleagues who do.
So in the teams, it's all mixed up between foreign kids
Yeah.
and Chinese
Yeah.
kids, and there's no major communication issues on the field.
No, because in football, the game itself is the communication.
That's the international language. isn't it?
Exactly,
Yeah.
it's the international language.
Mm.
Not English, not
If
Spanish.
you know what the rules
it's,
are,
it's just
then,
football.
then your English or
Exactly,
your Chinese doesn't
exactly.
necessarily have to be that great. I mean, it does, it helps, but
The
Yeah.
kids, they all speak English now.
yeah.
Chinese.
I guess if you've
Kids
got-
are inventive in communicating with each other, even if they don't speak the same language.
Mm.
But indeed, nowadays, many, almost all Chinese kids understand English language
Yeah, I think
at
so,
young
yeah.
ages,
Yeah.
which is also a good development
Mm.
for their personal.
And how exactly are the age groups split up for the
So for
tournament?
for this event, it's open for kids playing U9 up till U13, so roughly 8 to 12 years old.
Okay, so and how are they split up?
They're split up within their age groups.
Yeah.
So an 8-year-old is not playing with a 12-year-old.
Sure.
So it's 8, 9, maybe 9, 10.
8 to 9,
like
9
that.
to 10.
Exactly,
I see, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Similar to what it was like when I was a boy.
Yes. Yeah, so they play among their peers, and that's the honest way. That's the fair way to do
Yeah,
it as well,
sure,
because
sure.
we're accumulating points.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, there is a winner.
Yeah. And in terms of the style of the matches, in terms of like the size of the pitches and the style of the play.
Somebody's commenting on your number,
Oh, are they? Yeah.
and I'm not sure.
That's my jersey,
Yeah.
by the way.
I'm not sure if that's a Dutch person, because in '88 the Dutch won
They
the
won the
European
Euros.
Champions.
Yeah,
just saying,
exactly.
just saying.
Yeah.
No.
They did indeed.
Just saying,
Yeah.
just saying.
In Holland, they have Yeah, soccer.
Is
But
it
you
today?
guys play football in
guys-
We
Holland?
do play football in Holland.
I was not born at that time.
Total
obviously.
football.
Yeah, no, it's one of the most famous moments in Dutch football.
You mean the only one?
Definitely.
Ah, okay.
No, it's not the only
Definitely.
one. But
But sorry, I was interrupting
So,
your question.
that's
actually.
why where this.
no, you had Van Basten and Hullet with it.
Yeah.
Both goals. Yeah, I know what happened. I'm showing my age now. Anyway.
Yeah.
that's
You can't remember it.
Gullet had about the same hairstyle as you, right?
Yeah, completely the same. Yeah, we're indistinguishable. You can't tell us apart at all.
C'est hyper, hein, pour rappeler, c'est mon
Euh,
FC, c'est un
Yeah, so yeah, in terms of like the rules of the game, I mean they differ quite a lot compared to say like a traditional 11v11 format. I mean there's a few differences, right?
There are a few differences, but in general it's the same, right? You defend one goal and you attack one goal. That's it.
Of course, the ultimate aim is the same, but I mean there's a few kind of
of course
subtle rules that are a
we
bit-
don't do throw-ins.
Yeah,
We kick the ball in. We work with small pop-up goals.
yeah. that's what I
Powered
saw,
by puck, which are amazing. We have 3 different sizes, so
Yeah.
each format has their own size of goal,
I see.
which
right.
is really cool, and the kids love it as well.
Yeah, but they're kind of like a sort of arch.
So two of them are like an arch,
Yeah.
and one of them is just like a square actually.
Right.
And what we make sure is that there cannot be a defender in front of the goal.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
if
sure.
especially with the 2v2 goals, they're like literally.
So you've got
Like
this
this?
sort of little
Huh?
area where no one can sort of enter between
The attacker
goal
can,
and-
but the
the
defender
the
cannot.
attacker can go in.
Yep.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. But the defender cannot go in,
Yeah.
so he cannot stand in
Yeah,
front of the
otherwise
goal
he's just gonna be standing there.
because otherwise they're.
Lie down. in
Then
front of
they're
me,
no goal.
then you're good to go.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Besides that, there are no specific rules. The games are very short, 4 to 5 minutes, and every time the kids.
4 to 5 minutes, not
Yes.
45 minutes.
No, not 45 minutes.
Yeah.
No, that would be a little
Yeah,
bit too
sure.
long.
But I
And
guess they're really fast paced though. I mean, there
It
must
is.
be. I mean, because I played. I used to play five-a-side many years ago, and it's. I mean, the pace is totally different from an 11-a-side game, and you're just constantly. You don't have a break. You can't
No.
just sort of
No.
stop for a breather and get your breath back, and it's just non-stop.
Exactly, it's quite intense. So what we do is that every kid they play a game and they have a game break. So in that way we ensure that it's healthy as well, kind of speak. It's not too intense for them.
Sure, yeah, especially on sort of the hot days that we get here. So.
Exactly. I mean, if we would be doing this event yesterday, that would be killing.
Definitely, it'd be okay. How do you
Now
think-
it would be
How
great.
do you think they'd be okay in the rain? All the foreign kids would be okay, would they?
Yeah, I mean-
all the British kids would be fine playing in this, I think.
You know, when it rains, that's football weather to me.
Mm.
I love it when it rains. That's not an issue.
Mm.
But yes, some parents think differently.
Yeah. I see. And so, say for example, there was there was some parents or the kid they want to sign up. How do they? What's the process to register into a tournament? How do they?
Find us on
How
WeChat.
do they connect?
Right? Find us on WeChat, FC Series.
Mhm.
Maybe we're able to share the link afterwards,
Absolutely, yeah, of course.
right? Find us there. There's like a sign up button in our official account, and you go to, you sign up, you pay, and you're in.
Yeah.
So
Did you set up everything yourself, or you had a Chinese partner or something like that?
no, we were able to set it up ourselves. Yeah, yeah, and we had everything translated in Chinese, of course. So it's bilingual. Yeah.
Great. Who did you get it translated by? No, we won't go there. But, yeah. Is there?
Highcom, some company called Highcom.
Yeah. Yeah. They're,
Very good company, I heard.
Yeah.
yeah. They do a pretty good job. Apparently.
It looks like they did well.
So, and so once they've enrolled, once they've registered, they're looking forward to the tournament. Is there any specific kind of kit that they need to bring with them?
No, they can wear their favorite uniform.
Right.
So whether it's FC Barcelona or Paris Saint-Germain,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. They wear whatever they want to wear.
Okay.
For every game, they get like a bib
A
from
little
us
bit, yeah. Sure.
to make sure that they know their teammates.
Mhm.
But besides that, doesn't matter what they wear.
great. Yeah. So you just make sure they've got the suitable footwear for the Astro,
Suitable footwear,
Astro
shin
pitch.
guards, obviously.
Yep.
We want to keep it safe.
Yep. There's no slide tackling though, right?
There's no slide tackling allowed, but
Yeah.
you know sometimes it happens, right?
Of course. Yeah,
on accident.
Yeah. If you
So-
you get a rush of blood to the head and you can't
I know
help
that very
yourself.
Yeah, it's always good to wish in guards.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
can the ball go over head height? Because that was
Theoretically, yes.
that was a big rule when I used to play five-a-side. You won't if the ball went above head height, then it was a free kick.
Okay. So theoretically, it could,
That's an
Um,
old school rule. I
but
don't know.
but the game, the pitches are relatively small.
Sure.
It won't happen.
Yeah, and maybe sort of the 7 or 8-year-olds are going to have difficulty doing that anyway. Maybe I don't know. So.
Yeah, and there's basically no reason to pass the ball high. The goals
Yeah.
are pretty small, so in general that won't happen.
And the balls are like regular standard size 5. So you don't go smaller for the smaller kids. Or...
Most of them play size 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you can get size 3s, can't you? So
It exists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Size 1, size 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Because I wasn't sure whether you were going to go down like the futsal route, where obviously the ball is much smaller and heavier, and it's designed to be played on the floor the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah.
You know the futsal balls.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But this isn't that. at
No,
all, right?
we're just using regular balls.
Right.
Definitely. Definitely.
Okay. And you were saying that you've the events are very well staffed. Maybe perhaps you can talk about the supervisors who work at the events.
So we have a couple of foreign coaches who help us out during the event. They're in charge of the rotating system, and besides that, we hired some students. Last time we had 20 very well trained students with us who were able to coordinate everything on each pitch and make sure that the kids follow the rules,
Yeah.
and to make sure that the scores are written down and
Sure.
come back to us to make sure that we know who wins.
Yeah, and they also obviously they act as the referees, or or is that different?
Referee is a big word because it implies that they have like a whistle with them.
Yeah.
They don't have a whistle.
Oh,
They follow what happens.
Yeah.
But in general, we stimulate kids to play fair.
Sure.
Play a fair game.
Sure.
If the ball's out, the ball's out. If you make a foul, you make a foul.
Yeah.
And in general, that works pretty well if you give that. If you give that to the kids themselves
Sure.
to regulate that.
Sure. Yeah. If they're not just relying on the referee
Exactly,
to whistle,
exactly.
so you've not got any kids diving around the floor waiting for a foul.
No.
Sure.
But again, every pitch is staffed, so there's somebody to keep an eye on what happens.
Yeah.
And if the kids don't follow the rules, he or she will intervene.
Okay.
Definitely.
Got a couple of questions come through.
Cool.
Is there any football training for adults?
Not with what we do, but there are plenty of adult teams
Sure.
in and around the city.
There are in there are.
Right? There's like a league every Sunday
Yeah.
here, like a 7-a-side league.
That's where we're playing.
It's ASAS.
Sure.
And their teams that play, and I know some of them, they actually train every single week.
And if any of you do have a league, or if you play in a team in the adult football, then get in touch with us. We'll have you on in a few weeks, and you can come on and talk about it.
Yeah, and I know that one of the teams, the Vikings, they're looking actually for new members nowadays. So
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh.
feel free to post it on our group
Exactly.
if
No,
anyone
they're
wants
our
to.
opponents. Don't do it.
If you want to get involved in that, then yeah, absolutely, yeah. I haven't played for a long time. Stefan knows all about my my foot injury that happened at the cages. When was it now?
Four-side.
Four-side at the
Four-side.
cages.
Four-side
This was,
cages, yeah.
About 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago now,
Yeah,
quite a while
about
ago now. And since that moment, I haven't played at all, and I don't think it's a good idea to be risking it now anyway. But I probably could if I took it easy and there was no hard tackling or anything like that. If
It
I
was
just,
not a hard tackling. What happened to you, man?
no, it wasn't. No, but,
can play with the
but
kids.
even then, yeah.
Yeah, you can play with
But,
it.
if I need to find a very really genteel, tame veterans league, sort of over 40s or something, which I can actually do now. So
Have you found the Chinese Cristiano Ronaldo yet?
did I find the
were
Chinese
there any
Ronaldo
like,
or Messi?
outstanding players during the pilot? Or were there any just
Yeah,
guys
the-
that just completely wiped the floor?
There were a couple really good. You know, the thing is, potential is everywhere in the world, right? Like I said before, I travel a lot. I see many kids, and at young age, you find potential everywhere. It's a matter of what they do with it themselves.
Yeah.
And if you want to find a new Ronaldo somewhere in China, you'll be able to find it. Yeah, but the question is, what is this 7, 8, 9-year-old kid gonna do with his skills? And does he work hard? Does he enjoy what he does?
Yeah. Is he committed to maintaining those skills? I'm
Exactly.
sure there must be thousands
Is there not
of kids
too
out
much
there.
pressure from the parents?
But yeah, exactly. Yeah. The parents
All
that are
plays a
living
game.
their, you always get these parents that are living their own dreams through their children. You see that
It
quite a lot
happens.
in
It
the UK.
happens. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. And so obviously with each age group in your tournaments, there's going to be a winner. And so what prizes do you have on offer?
So the winners of the age group and the formats, they get a trophy. And besides that, we have certain lucky draw prizes, because we believe everybody's a winner and everybody should have a chance on winning something.
Sure.
So during the last event, the main prize, which was lucky draw, were 2 tickets for Disneyland here in Shanghai.
For the new one coming up.
Yeah.
Because you also said that you may be giving away like trips around China, but maybe not right now. Is that
So our goal is that if we establish a series with recurring events, that the winner over a longer period might win a trip to Europe.
Yeah. Wow.
But the current circumstances are not allowing that,
Sure.
and we have to establish the series first. But that's our goal.
And does each kid get like some kind of certificate
Yes.
for taking part?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And we've got another question coming through. Is it only boys or can girls take part
Please,
as well?
please, both, boys and girls.
So girls can take part. as well.
Definitely,
And you
definitely.
put them in the same teams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I certainly believe is good for girls to play among boys of the same age.
Yeah.
They learn a lot of it. Both learn a lot from it. Which reminds me actually that the Dutch FA in the Netherlands just allowed a senior girl, she's 19 years old, to play with the first men's team,
Wow, really?
which is
Gosh.
unique
Gosh.
in the world actually.
What, like in the first division or in the?
And not professionally,
Not
but
professionally,
high amateur.
I see.
So it's
Okay.
it's quite serious
Yeah.
level.
They also can do it at SS. Having a girl.
Exactly,
Yeah, we
there's
have-
a
we have
girl
couple
playing
of
in the
girls.
men's team in Asses as well, yeah? Yeah.
I remember
So-
once we were playing against a team and they told us like they had a girl. They told us like don't play on the side of the girl because you know she's pregnant. So we try not to play on her side. And after the game, well, actually she was not pregnant. This is,
It tricked us. No, she was pretty good.
So how old is the maximum? Can we send Matthias? You can,
We don't want to know. We don't want to know.
He's
I
coming
guess.
back in. No, I don't know. I don't know who that was actually. Who said that? Only boys. I think it might be Helen actually. So,
yeah, Len, you come with me.
so yeah. So you've got the event coming up on October. Do you have like a plan further into the future, like in the next say 6 months? Do you plan to organise an event once a month, once every 2 months,
So
or
the
in
plan,
different places as well?
and the plan is to start here in Shanghai every second month basically.
Yep.
And from there expand to different cities.
Great.
Yeah, and then that
Wonderful.
eventually that will result in national finals, etc.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess you could do an ultimate champions
Exactly.
event where you take the champions of Shanghai from Beijing, from
Exactly. That's the plan.
yeah,
That's the bigger plan.
ultimate winners edition.
Yeah.
I see.
And how much is it?
For participating,
Yeah.
it's 2, 3, 4. Why? So it's 2
No,
2v2,
I mean-
3v3, 4v4.
I mean the price.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
explaining
Oh,
it.
sorry.
So we play 2v2, we play 3v3, we play 4v4.
Okay.
So it's 234 kwai. 2, 3, 4 kwai.
For the whole game.
Sorry?
For the whole event.
For the whole event, yeah.
And during the event, the parents, I mean, there is activity for them. They watch the kid. They have food. They have beverage. How does it work in terms of? Because there is many parents, I guess.
Exactly. Parents are joining, right? So they have the opportunity to watch the kids. Of course, we've got the Cactus restaurant right here where they can get some beverages and eat something. And with time, we're looking in expanding the side event for parents. Yeah.
Have we had any messages through on the WeChat at all? Probably not. But
The highlight community.
just to see if
Let's
there's
be
anyone.
double check.
Just to see if there's anyone posting through. None at all.
Nope.
No one.
do you play in the team yourself?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I play the SS League as well
Oh, really? Which team?
with the Windmills, the Dutch
Ah,
guys.
but we play against each other then last season.
So I only joined them recently. I've been training for the last 6 months with them, but I'll join the league as of
Oh, so you didn't
later
play,
this month.
You didn't play in the league yet?
Not
So-
yet. No.
I think next season you guys are Division 2, no?
We were actually registering 2 teams, one in the B League and one in the C League.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in the C League, so maybe let's see.
Absolutely.
And I think we've got. I think it's Helen actually.
How
coming
many
in.
kids,
How many kids would join?
Good question. Good question.
Join?
Yeah, we join for the event. How many kids will
Would
join?
join for the event. So say you had 96. the first time.
You need glasses or?
No, I do now. Yeah, no, it's terrible.
just
No, I
saying.
do.
144. So we've
Yeah.
got 144 spots per event.
That's the maximum capacity.
That's the
isn't it?
maximum. Yep.
And you think you're gonna have a full house for the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Great. Fantastic. I
Definitely.
think it's going to be
definitely.
maybe it's going to be sold out in a few weeks in advance, or what do you think?
Let's see. People tend to make their plans relatively late, right?
Mm.
So I don't expect to be sold out tomorrow.
Yeah.
But 144, it's not that much if you consider how many kids play football at that age here in Shanghai.
Mm. Sure, yeah. If you advertise it pretty well, I'm sure those 144 places will get snapped
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Snapped up
exactly.
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Do you happen to have partnership with like teams? Because I know like there are some professional teams like Juventus or Borussia Mönchengladbach, whatever. They do have partnership with like some schools who are training kids or teenagers here.
Mhm.
Do you happen to have any connection like that?
So we have a connection with the teams from Football Future, as I mentioned before, and we're looking to partner up with different coaches, different teams, in order to promote the event. So we're not connected to a club.
Okay.
It's separately. It's just like an event. So everybody from every club or school is welcome to join.
Okay.
See, no, I got it wrong. It wasn't Helen, it's Tibet, in fact, that was asking those questions. And so, are you in touch with Soccer World at all?
I think Soccer World
Does
is
anyone
the
know?
big- Yeah, that's where it's a field. We used to play there a couple of times.
All
It's
right.
up north.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's too big for you.
It's a facility with multiple fields,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I haven't been in touch with them yet.
Here it's fine. It's
no.
better here.
I mean, we chose this location primarily because it's a beautiful location.
It's downtown.
It's very center, close to the metro. So for now we're good here, but we're always looking for new opportunities, especially if we're going to have it every second month. Maybe we'll be hosting it at different locations in the city.
Okay, and when will the next event come? So we will know.
October
So,
2nd.
October the 2nd.
October 2nd. It's a Friday
case
in
you
the
missed that.
October holiday.
Yep.
So perfect. In the afternoon, the event will be from 3 till 5
Yep.
p.m.
Who will win the Champions League final?
Whew. Ajax. Oh, they're out. They're out.
Oh,
Long time
I
out.
don't actually know. Is it?
Let's see. We first have to see who gets into the final, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Barcelona did pretty well the other day, as did Bayern Munich, but they're playing each other now.
Yeah.
So that's
It'll be a big game,
I
man.
think
That's
Bayern
a
Munich is going to win.
big game.
Or Manchester City.
Man
Either
City,
Man City or Bayern.
Munich,
Or
yeah.
Bayern.
I go for those two.
I like it that this year there's still a few
Underdog.
a few underdogs like Atalanta and Leipzig.
And PSG.
I like that.
Yeah, and
PSG, yeah.
Absolutely. Do you guys need any volunteer to help out with the organization? Or you are staffed and you don't need anybody?
So yeah, during the day we could use volunteers, especially to observe the pitches, to see if everything goes well right there. So yeah, if anybody feels like participating, let us know.
Yeah, well, we
Definitely.
might be along to do a bit of streaming, perhaps.
That would be cool, actually, right?
And,
Yeah.
I think we will.
and
Yeah.
stream some of the event. Right.
Find the new talent of China.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
do a nice highlight show for you, so you can promote it for your next one.
Yeah, I'm in for that.
And then we have, what do you think of PSG? What do you think of PSG, Matthias?
No comment. No comment. Irrelevant.
I don't know this team.
Oh, we've got Dogos down here.
And one more question about the sponsor or the people who want to sell food or beverages. I come back to the same thing. They can contact you directly if they want to participate or have a stand for sandwiches, hot dog or whatever the food.
Definitely.
They can go on the app, on
the WeChat account and contact us.
and contact you directly.
Yeah, definitely.
And,
if somebody's interested.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And in terms of medical staff, I guess you have also some medical staff in case of injury. Or...
Of course. Last time we were happy to have the guys from Sky Clinic present. We were grateful for that. So we had staff here in case of any injuries. Luckily, nothing major happened. Good. But still, it's important to have somebody on site. Definitely. Yep.
Okay. And so, for example, as I say, you're going to be it's all going to be held behind us. So all the people watching, like the parents, are they just literally by the touchline, or do they have to stand back a bit, or are they?
So they stand by the touchline. Yeah.
Literally.
They also can go up here. Sometimes you climb there to see the games of our friends.
Yeah, they can go up to stands. Definitely has a very nice overview.
Sure, we could if we did the streaming, I guess we could film from the top all the way
It's
down.
covered, so even if it's raining, you're good to go.
Do you record the games? Like, because I know in SS, like they're recording the games and you can watch it after. Do you do that for the parents?
At the moment we don't, because we've got 13 pitches at the same time.
If you put a big camera upstairs, I guess you can.
Yeah, you could put a camera upstairs, but the question is, do you see anything that's happening on the pitch?
Yeah, actually
right?
they do. They do that for ACES,
Yeah, for ACES, yes, but the pitches are that small. Will you be able to recognize where your kid is playing? So what we do during the event and during the pilot event as well, we had a drone, so we made video shots.
The video
Definitely,
is beautiful, guys.
Yeah.
Have a nice teaser. Oh, you can. Yeah, they put with the drone.
Are there red and yellow cards?
No, they're not.
Because we don't use, because there's no like proper referee.
There's no proper referee.
No.
I think in general, yellow and red cards doesn't work with the young kids.
No, and there never was when I didn't start seeing yellow cards until I was 15, 16, I think. Before that, they never used them at all.
Yeah, well,
Maybe it's the same.
there are leagues where you see them with 6, 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
I understand where it comes from, but I think from developmental perspective for children, you can solve those things in different ways.
Yeah, I think you've really got to just focus on the game itself, and the actual fundamental rules of the game and the friendship side of it as well.
Exactly, and that doesn't mean that the kids during the tournament are allowed to do anything they want,
of course,
right?
Yeah.
We have somebody supervising what happens, and if they cross the boundary, we'll take measurement.
Do you actually have any issues with the parents? Because I remember when I was like younger and playing rugby, sometimes my dad was watching the game and got like into kind of fight with people who were like talking bad or yelling or stuff like that. Does it happen in China?
Well, I'm afraid it happens everywhere during regular leagues, right? Where there's one team playing another team. During an event like ours, where the kids are individually participating, where they switch teams every single time. Where there's not like a proper referee, because often that's an issue for the parents. No, we don't have issues with that during that event. No.
So we've got a couple more questions in that we answered earlier, but we'll answer them again. How long does a game last? Well, that's
4 to 5 minutes. Yes.
And then are most of the kids playing Chinese? But
most of them are. Yeah, definitely.
Because there's fewer and fewer foreigners around.
And it's open to anyone, right? Boys, girls, Chinese, foreigner. That doesn't matter.
Great, super. And is there any aspects of the event that we've missed out or haven't really talked about that we feel is relevant?
No, I think we cover most of it. I mean, the event, it stands for playing a lot of football, right? The kids are playing many games in 2 hours. They meet new kids, they make new friends, and they have lots of fun, and that's what's important to us. And by playing in different teams in different formats, they develop as a player because they have to adjust every single time to the environment. That's good for their development.
Great. And then have a lot of them come back and said they really want to go for the next one as well.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, we had kids last time already asking when is the next tournament, which is good.
Great.
So we're starting sign-ups for October 2nd as of tomorrow, actually. And well, we're sharing the contacts, and if anyone is interested, follow our community as well. Within the community, it's not only about the tournament. We will be sharing articles about youth development and youth soccer development there as well. So it's quite interesting for parents to follow, I guess.
Great. And would you be thinking of holding it in other stadiums in Shanghai, not just this one?
Yeah,
Have you
we're
been looking
definitely
around just to see what the rates are and what the facilities are like?
Yeah, I mean the facilities is important. The location is important. At this moment, we're happy here in Ying'an Walker Stadium.
Yeah.
Very happy. So for the time being, this is our place to be.
It was difficult to set up like everything like since scratch, I guess, like as you're a foreigner in China, like when you created the widget account, booking the pitch, organizing the event.
So it's a little struggle, but with connections and with people who already did it, it's not that hard.
So you kind of got an expertise.
Yeah.
So, say you've been here for a year, so you already knew a few guys here
Yeah,
that could help
definitely.
you out?
Yeah, I've been here in the past on business trips, right?
Right.
To educate coaches. So I knew some people here in football, and they were happy to help me out.
Oh, and what about because you said you're a professional coach, right? So what about the coaches in China? Because we know like most of the time for this event they want someone who is like kind of look for Western or something like that, but they're not real coaches. Have you seen an evolution on that, or?
What do you exactly mean?
I mean like. I mean,
You mean him or him?
because back in the days, for instance, like especially after France won the World Cup, for instance, they were like, "Oh, we want a French coach."
We want
like,
French coaches,
or just the French, just
And
like
some
train
any
the
old
coach, but
French
they are not
guy
real
just
coach.
turned up
Yeah,
and
yeah,
never
exactly,
played
yeah.
football in his
They
life.
said like they were looking for a guy who looked like Mbappe to teach.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're not
I mean,
real coaches.
it still happens, right?
Yeah.
And not only in China. I mean, European coaches are very popular around the
But some
world.
of them they are not real coaches though.
True, true. Unfortunately, unfortunately, yeah. But I think as things proceed and as the game becomes more popular in China, Chinese coaches also improve, of course, and they gain more knowledge. And for that, it's good when European true coaches from Europe come and share knowledge. Not only do their thing, but also share what they know about the game.
And speaking of coaches, is there any certificate, or you come with a certificate as a coach in Europe, you can validate it in China? How does it work, this coach situation? When you're a coach certified overseas, you arrive in China, there is some test you have to go
Is it
through, or
recognized,
how
or-
does it work? Well, there is
So-
no regulation.
So in general, if you hold a UEFA certificate as a coach back in Europe, many countries around the world acknowledge that. The Chinese Federation, I'm not completely sure if they really acknowledge it, but the organizations you will work for, they do. So clubs and schools, they'll ask for that certificate and they'll be happy with you if you have it.
I think they do because like the ref there when we were playing on Sunday, they do have a UFA license or something like that. So I think they recognize it.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got an interesting question actually. Do you need to insure the kids, or do they need to sign any kind of insurance paper, or I don't know, some sort of disclaimer or something that doesn't make you responsible in any way?
Yeah, exactly. So ultimately, the parents are responsible for their insurance.
Okay. Okay, good. And we've got a couple of comments about the rain. Yes. Do you have umbrellas? Well, we're under the awning. As we call it.
I've got one here,
We've actually got
Exactly,
one.
but we
just in
don't need
case.
it.
And so we're actually in the dry, even though it's raining quite hard behind us, but we're nice and dry here.
Thanks for caring.
Compared to an hour ago, this is nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's
Yeah,
British.
it's
He's very
boring.
happy with this weather.
Yeah.
It feels like home for him.
But you still got a lot of dedicated guys behind us doing their running and walking and keeping fit despite the rain. So
Yeah.
nothing's stopping them. So there we go. Yeah. Even walking backwards.
Yeah.
It's good for healthy.
Whatever
It's
works,
good
man.
for us
Whatever
healthy.
works.
Yeah. Go and get him. Go and bring him some hot water as well.
Yeah, but it's like you said before, it's nice to see how many people normally exercise
Yeah,
at the stadiums.
And if it was
Yeah.
sunny, man,
If,
we
if,
would be
if,
packed.
it's, if it's dry, it's packed, and I mean that's
good.
like you said, right? That's something we don't see in Europe.
That is true.
We eat dinner and we sit on the couch and watch
And that's it,
watch
yeah.
Netflix or whatever. People tend to exercise a little bit more over
Yeah,
here.
they do. Yeah, we've got this.
It's a
kind of
healthy
like,
habit.
Like this little track that goes up and down the river, just sort of close to where I
Mm.
live, and there's like an army of people walking,
Yeah.
walking up and down there after dinner.
Exactly,
It's,
exactly.
it's good for the digestion, and yeah.
What about your background? Like, cause you're a professional coach. Do you coach like any team in Holland or like professional team or anything like that?
So I actually never coached a team.
Okay.
I do have my UEFA B license. I started coaching when I was 15.
Oh yeah.
So I already coached by now for 17 years. I worked in a professional club in VVV Venlo, which is in the Dutch Premier League. And besides that, I traveled a lot, worked in different places, and started educating coaches. So, yeah.
And is that your team, your main team, or is it Ajax? Venlo.
VVV Venlo. So as a kid, I was a diehard Ajax fan. You're
Yeah.
right. But Venlo, it's near my hometown.
Sure. But they
So-
play in the Eredivisie.
Eredivisie, very good, very good.
Ah.
He speaks a little bit Dutch.
That's the only word.
You've been practicing all day on that?
He did.
yeah.
All weekend.
Yeah. I'm no Steve McLaren.
There you go.
And how about like how is it to become a professional coach like in Europe? So do you have to go to universities or it's specific training? Or?
So now you need your UEFA licenses
Okay. So, and how do you take it? How do you?
through the federation.
Okay. And how much time for just an exam?
It depends per country. So every federation has a little bit different system, although at the end you get the same certificate. In the Netherlands, for example, each course takes about a year. But there are countries like Ireland and Scotland where you can do it in 6 weeks. It's like 6 weeks full time.
That's why I'm not good at football.
So it changes. It differs, yeah.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, yeah, you need to hold a license. That's like a prerequisite. But at the end of the day, it's who you are and what you're able to do.
So it's open to everyone. Like.
Basically, it is. Basically, it is. But to get like your UEFA A license in the Netherlands, for example, the level it's similar to a bachelor.
Okay.
So
And what's the difference between the B license and the A license?
at the end, the level that you're allowed to coach on.
Okay, so it's all about the level.
Yeah.
So if you want to train in Eredivisie,
Mhm.
you need to have the A license, right?
You need the pro license. You
Which
need
is
the pro license.
the license A, right?
No.
Oh,
It's
so
on top of
it's
that.
okay.
Yeah, it's a pro license. With the A license, you're allowed to be an assistant coach on the professional team.
Because in France, sometimes, like even in professional clubs, they were saying like the coach doesn't have the license. So it's the main coach, the head coach, but actually they say like, oh, he's actually assistant or something like that. Trick.
Yeah, that's a trick they often play. They want somebody with a big name to be their head coach, who might have the knowledge he needs, but doesn't have the degree yet or the certificate, the license. They put him officially as an assistant coach and somebody who holds the certificate, the license, as a head coach on paper only. Yeah.
And just another question about your events. Have you thought about bringing some kind of celebrity or some sort of famous Chinese footballer or to come in and present the awards at the end?
Did we think about that? No.
Not
To be honest, not really. We did not think about that.
Or maybe you could contact one of the like a famous guy playing in the Chinese league, like an ex-European player, you know, one of these guys that are in the final days of their career, they can come in.
You are hired, my friend. You are hired.
They could come in and present the awards.
Yeah, those are great ideas.
Yeah, so they could come in, sign some autographs.
Yeah.
And,
Definitely.
Mm.
Yeah. And the thing is, and maybe that's also why we didn't think about it yet, because the current situation is that those players won't be allowed to do these kind of
Sure.
events,
Sure.
because they will be too much exposed to many people.
Too many people.
And that's a risk at the moment.
I'm sure they're under heavy,
Very heavy
guidelines.
restrictions. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Excellent. Yeah. Well, I think we'll leave it there. Well, what a great stream. What a
Yeah,
great
absolutely,
conversation we had tonight. Yeah.
It was fun being here.
Super. We've learned so much about this brand new football concept that I'm pretty sure is going to really take off. You know, I can't see how it's not going to take off. I think it's a fantastic idea. People just committed just for that day. They don't have to sign up, and they're just not thinking, oh, but I can't make it this week. Can't make it that week. It's all done on that day, and as we've said a few times, it's a great way for kids to come along and meet new people and try out this and work out the best skills that work for the other players that they're playing with on that specific team, and they're going to learn a lot about the way they play and the way that other people play as well. So fantastic.
Yeah. Cool.
So we will definitely post the link and
Perfect.
all the details on our WeChat community site or community page, whatever it's called, group. And then we'll post all those details so that everyone knows exactly what's going on. And hopefully we'll come down and do a bit of filming as well.
Yeah. You're more than welcome.
Great, well thanks a lot, Mark.
Cool, thanks for having me. It was a
cheers.
pleasure.
And thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.